You're here, and you can feel it in your gut that this wasn't random. Not because some algorithm got lucky, but because life has a strange way of putting the right mirror in front of you, exactly when you're about to step through a door you've been staring at for years. If you've been pushing, dreaming, working, trying to become the version of you that finally wins, then listen closely. Moments before a breakthrough, reality gets loud. Not outside first. Inside, because right before you win, something always shows up. A whisper, a little fog, a weird heaviness in the chest that wasn't there yesterday. You'll be moving forward, doing the right things, feeling momentum. And then out of nowhere, the mind throws a handful of sand in your eyes. What if this doesn't work? What if this is all delusion? What if you don't deserve it? And the wild part is how convincing it sounds, like it's trying to protect you, like it's wisdom, like it's being responsible. Sometimes it gets even more specific, almost comical if it didn't hurt so much. What if you finally grow and everything gets complicated? What if success turns you into someone you don't recognize? You know those thoughts. They don't arrive when you're doing nothing. They don't visit when you're playing small and scrolling and numbing out. They show up when you're close, when the ground is cracking, when the old life can feel the new life taking its place. Picture someone digging for years. Sweat, blisters, dirt under the nails. And then, 1 centimeter before the diamonds, he stops. Not because the diamonds weren't there, not because the tool was broken. He stops because something inside says, "Enough. Go back. This is risky." That's what you're facing, not bad luck. Not the universe testing you like a cartoon villain. Something more intimate. Something closer than your own breath. There's a name for it. A symbol, really. In old language, the devil isn't just a horned creature in a storybook. The word points to division, to separation, to two-ness. A splitting of what could be whole. And you can feel that split inside you sometimes, right? Part of you says go, another part says hide. Part of you is sunlight, another part is night. Conscious and unconscious. Hope and dread. Life and death. Not in a dramatic way, just in the everyday human way that nobody really teaches you how to navigate. Here's where it gets honest. The adversary isn't out there. Not primarily. The most dangerous opponent doesn't kick down your door. It sits quietly in your own mind and waits until you're about to evolve, and then it starts negotiating. Carl Jung called it the shadow. The part of you that you shoved into the basement because you didn't want to feel it. Old shame, old fear, old memories, old beliefs about what kind of person gets to have what you want. And look, nobody loves going into that basement. No one wakes up excited like, can't wait to face my insecurities today. So most people just keep sweeping the mess under the rug. Jung would call the real path individuation, which is a fancy word for becoming whole again. Becoming one. Not a divided house where one part is praying for success while another part is quietly terrified of it. Here's the twist. The shadow isn't your enemy because it's evil. It's your enemy when you refuse to look at it. In a weird way, it's a guard dog. It barks when you approach unfamiliar territory. It tries to keep you safe inside the known world, even if the known world is painful. Because the subconscious, bless it, hates change. It prefers a familiar cage to an unfamiliar sky. Known pain feels predictable. Unknown pleasure feels dangerous. So when you're about to break an old pattern, scarcity, self-doubt, staying small, settling, guess when the shadow gets loud? Right at the edge. Right before the diamonds. Right when you're about to step into a life that forces you to update your identity. And suddenly, you don't just have thoughts, you have feelings. Shame, guilt, fear, anxiety. A tightness in the throat, a knot in the stomach. And those feelings don't argue politely. They flood. You can see why people quit. Not because they're weak, because the inner system is doing what it was designed to do, protect you from the unknown. The only problem is, sometimes the unknown is exactly where your freedom lives. And when you confuse the shadow's alarm system for truth, you turn around 1 centimeter from everything you asked for. Now, here's the part that changes the game, because it explains something you've probably experienced but never had language for. Trying to control every thought is like trying to catch every raindrop in your hands during a storm. You can do it for 2 seconds, maybe 3, and then you're exhausted and soaked, wondering why you even tried. 5,000 thoughts in a day, sometimes more. So what are you supposed to do? Cancel each negative one like you're swatting flies until midnight. That's not mastery. That's war. And war drains you. There's a smarter doorway, a deeper lever. Research has pointed towards something powerful. The heart's electromagnetic field is far stronger than the brain's. Put that in simple terms. Feelings carry more weight than thoughts. 1,000 affirmations can't outrun one deep, heavy belief. You can chant, "I'm ready," all day long, but if your body feels unworthy, if your chest feels unsafe, if your gut feels doom, that emotion is steering the ship. Feelings don't just color thoughts. Feelings command thoughts. That's why some people seem to attract solutions like they've got invisible doors opening for them. Not because they're luckier, not because they deserve more. You've probably met both types. Someone who complains nonstop, always tight, always expecting the worst, and somehow life keeps giving them more reasons to complain. Then someone else, facing challenges too, but carrying a steadier emotional frequency, and somehow they find openings. A friend shows up, a solution appears. They keep moving, same world, different inner weather. So here's the technique. Not a gimmick, not a magic spell. Just a practical shift. Work on the feeling first. Create a pocket of well-being, even when the mind is panicking. Go somewhere your nervous system relaxes. Sit with someone who makes you feel safe. Listen to music that loosens the knot in your chest. Spend time with animals or kids if that softens you. Pray, if prayer brings faith online, even if you don't feel like it. Especially then, because you're not obeying the mood, you're leading it. Try this right now. Close your eyes for a second. Take a slow breath, not a performance breath, a real one. And ask your body a gentle question. What would well-being feel like for 10 seconds? Not forever. Not for a whole year. Just 10 seconds. Let the shoulders drop a millimeter. Let the jaw unclench a little. Let the heart soften a tiny bit. That's alchemy. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's direction. When the feeling shifts, the mind follows, like iron filings following a magnet. If you're about to win, expect the shadow to show up with its final tricks. Expect the mind to suddenly become a courtroom and put your dream on trial. Expect fear to dress up as logic. Don't get offended by it. Don't panic. Just recognize it. This is what happens when the old self feels the new self approaching. 1 centimeter from the diamonds, the inner adversary tries to pull you back into the familiar. Not because you're doomed, because you're close. Here's the move. Protect your feeling like it's sacred. Guard your emotional frequency the way you'd guard a flame in heavy wind. Watch the environments you walk into. Watch the people you let pour their heaviness into your field. Choose inputs that strengthen you, not weaken you. Then, while your heart is steadier, take the next step anyway. Write the message. Make the call. Publish the thing. Apply. Start. Continue. Don't wait to feel ready. Let readiness be something you build by staying with your own heart and moving forward in small, real actions. If this video found you right now, let it be a sign you don't ignore. Not a mystical lottery ticket. A reminder. You're not being punished by those intrusive thoughts. You're being revealed to. You're seeing the last layer that wants to keep you small. So don't turn around. Don't stop 1 centimeter short. Breathe. Steady the heart. And keep digging. Because if you're seeing this message at the edge of your breakthrough, You're not lost. You're being summoned.